Cameron McKenzie. Now, he is the CEO at Aspire, the marketplace for circular economy. Hi there, Cameron.
How are we going?
Very well, thank you. Now, we're speaking to you ahead of the conference in August, Procure a Better World. Can you expand on this term circular economy for me first?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a term that's been coined probably in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, but it's actually been around for a very long time. Okay, so if you think back to like the 1950s, 60s, a lot of people were reusing, repurposing a lot of goods, if it be bottles, milk bottles, or whatever. But since the consumer generation sort of come through, it's sort of like the take, make, use, dispose of, and throw away at the end. Where circular economy is about designing out those waste products, trying to reuse, repurpose those items, and trying to drive a better world for sustainability. So, you get the finite metals that you dig out of the ground and turn into all these phones and all these electronic goods, and for them to end up in landfills, just a waste. So it's about how to capture that all that energy and all that embodied carbon in a way that we can repurpose it.
Okay, so bring it into the world of procurement then. Why is it so important for procurement?
Oh, I think it's critically important. End of the day, what we want to do is pretty much be trying to mandate or trying to create a pull through for a circular economy. Like, I think, as you know, in the world, there's a big rush, especially in Australia, for all this recycling. And I think the federal government have, in different states, I think it's up around $350 million in improving recycling and sorting facilities. However, one of the key things I think that's really missing is that sustainable procurement. So how do you actually get in that pull through? How do you actually try to mandate or try to do a few things to create that end market for these products where before in the past not there? Like, it's all good recycling, yes, but what are you going to do with it? There's only so much you can do. And I know, I think it was a bit disappointing in the federal government in January this year. They were going to mandate a certain percentage of recycled products for local, state, and federal government procurement, but they can at the 11th minute, which was a bit mind-boggling for me. But I think what we need to really try to do is really create those end markets for these products. And I think a lot of the customers that Procurement Australia have, they're pretty big players in the industry, and if they can start driving change with their decision making and their purchasing power, I think it's really going to make a better world for everyone.
Yeah. So on that sustainability driver, then, give me an example of the sorts of things that the procurement function inside a business is doing to have an impact using the circular economy.
Yeah, well, good question. I think at this point in time, a lot of businesses are just really scratching the surface with it. I think everyone's got a really good idea in their mind of what needs to be done, but they don't really know how to do it. So that's why you need certain tools and different elements around that. One of the key things, obviously, around circular economy is like renewable energies, and a few things like that are very similar. And the low-hanging fruit is going, solar powers on your building. But when you actually want to go back and try to look at these sustainable circular motions around these procuring these items. So there's different elements. Like we've got a business on Aspire that basically they'll spend in about $8,000 a month sending perfectly good fresh produce to landfill, and through the platform they got that down to about $1,000. And all that is about the end markets of those, because what it did is the platform created these the markets. And what it did is it made it open, and then what it does, it creates a sustainable pull through. These other businesses could actually pick and choose what they wanted, and it's all about sort of localized solutions. So instead of purchasing something in like interstate or in another country, basically what you want to do is try to localize it and get it nice and tight to where it actually gets produced.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So what about moving into that third driver of our conference? Because we've got the strategic and the sustainability drivers and then the social driver. So what sort of impact can circular economy have, on the community at large when you're talking about how the procurement function can help with that?
Well, I think the change definitely needs to sort of come from that community level too. They've got amazing buying power and basically power with their wallet and the decisions that they make. You know what I mean? So like I was speaking to a cousin, I think she's 18 or 19, and she purely goes and buys sustainable clothing, from textiles that are being repurposed to basically make sustainable t-shirts, and the amount of cotton, the amount of water and energy it takes to make these t-shirts, to repurpose and remake it, it actually, creates a lot of value and creates that embodied carbon in these products. Like yourself, I'm tipping you're sitting at a desk at the moment, and basically there's a lot of energy that gets that desk to you. Obviously there's, if it's a timber desk, they cut the tree down, that they mill it, they get it to a place where it actually turns into a desk, and if there's a lot of energy, transportation, a lot of things around that. So pretty much if you can capture that energy and repurpose it, well, you're actually saving it, aren't you? So you're not having to ship it around, you don't have to cut down another tree. You can do all sorts of different things, If you really want to repurpose that desk, you can just paint it, you know what I mean? And give it a new finish, or you can a new coat of varnish, okay? So like as another example, there's a business I know that they collect all the e-waste that we sort of get through us, okay? And what they do is they either repair it and give it away to disadvantaged Australians, which is a huge social tick. I love it. It just makes me warm and fuzzy. And basically what the stuff that they can't repair or give away, they actually recycle. So they're like a mini social enterprise, and they're doing some really good things. And they're in, I think they're in Dandenong, I think by memory. They're doing a lot for the local community down there. They give it away to all these kids, or these, these mothers, or these displaced people, or new Australians that, they're really giving a leg up. And that's, that's what really drives us. And that's what about sustainable procurement is, like these are decisions you really want to be making to like create a better community.
Yes, to procure a better world. I'm glad we chose that theme for the conference. Thanks a lot for your time today, Cameron. Don't forget to go and grab your ticket to the conference. And if you know that you can't make it to Melbourne in August, you can book the live stream option as well. Thanks again, Cameron.
No worries. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.